WCW Halloween Havoc took place at the MGM Grand Garden Arena, October 26, 1997. Halloween Havoc has a rich history in WCW, debuting in 1989 with the final Halloween Havoc taking place in the year 2000. There were 2 titles on the line at Halloween Havoc, and we even had a man versus a woman match when the Disco Inferno hooked it up with Jacqueline. Throw in a savage DDP Las Vegas sudden death match, Hogan and Piper inside a steel cage, and one of the greatest cruiserweight matches WCW would ever produce between Rey Mysterio and Eddy Guerrero, and you had a recipe for absolute mayhem. That's Halloween Havoc. Let's get to it. So winding the clocks back and having a look at WCW Halloween Havoc. Now, I remember watching this pay-per-view all the way back in 1997 when it first came out. It was a really awesome pay-per-view. It was a really hot time in WCW. They were building up to Starrcade 97, of course, and this was a really awesome pay-per-view along the way, with a ton of great action in it. Now, I'm going to point out 3 of my favourite matches from the pay-per-view, and we'll get into that in just a moment. But first, let's run down the full card from that night. So there we have the full card there from a night, a pretty good card. Now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run down the 3 top matches from a night, in my opinion, that I thought were pretty cool standout matches. And the first one was a mask versus title match. It was Eddy Guerrero's Cruiserweight title versus the Mask, the Purple Phantom, if you've seen the pay-per-view before, of Rey Mysterio Jr. Now this was voted WCW's 1997 Match of the Year, and it really was all that and more. If you have a chance to go back and see this match, if you haven't seen it before, I definitely recommend that you jump onto that WWE Network, because they've got that match sitting there in all its glory, and it is a real awesome match, a top match. Really just defined what the whole cruiserweight division was all about in WCW. This match embodied everything that you would want from a cruiserweight match. We had a lot on the line, of course. Rey Mysterio's mask, which of course, if a luchador loses his mask, you know, that's pretty much means the end of his career, although he did end up losing it later and didn't end his career, but anyway, you get the picture. So there was a lot on the line in this match. Eddy Guerrero came out in great shape. The crowd booing him at every moment. He was a great heel, of course. Rest in peace, Eddie. Great face as well, by the way. And Rey Mysterio, just athletic as ever. And both men just threw 120% into this match. Nothing more can be said about it, really. You really have to go back and see this match. You know, these guys were pulling out all the moves, plus the kitchen sink. Top rope springboards, crazy jumping over the top rope to the outside, Hurricane Ranas, flying head scissors, you name it. They almost just literally flew around the ring. It was that amazing to watch, and it truly was, in my view, it goes down as one of the top matches in WCW of all time, and definitely one you got to check out. This was a really, really, really cool match. And of course, in the end, we had Rey Mysterio pulling a top rope Hurricane Rana on Eddy Guerrero. He hooked one leg of Eddy, I remember, and he just got that 3 count, and it was a really emotional moment for Rey. And of course, I think I remember after the match, Eddy beating down Rey as well. He was really hacked off, but hey, that match was awesome. Okay, and another top match from a night was DDP taking on the Macho Man Randy Savage. and he had Liz with him at ringside. Now this was a damn awesome last man standing match. Now this feud had begun earlier in the year. They had had a really, really awesome match at Spring Stampede that year, and also the Great American Bash, which went all over the place as well. Those two matches were really awesome, and this match was really awesome as well. The Ddp and Savage feud was really, really hot and heavy and heated during 1997. One of the great feuds from WCW history between these two. And this match was a rubber match between the two. It was 1-1, of course, between Ddp and Savage going into this match. And as I say, it was a last man standing match. They went all over the place. You know how they have all the gravestones and that set up, slamming each other over the head with the gravestones and stuff like that. And the commentary was awesome too. A real funny line from Dusty Rhodes, rest in peace. I'll just play this one now. This is really awesome. Listen to this.
Oh, we love the sound of that. Brother, he wobble-legged him. Did he wobble-leg him? Huh? I like his. 2 o'clock on a Saturday night. He wobble-legged him. He picked up the waitress tray and busted him with it.
So yeah, that was when they were smashing each other over the head with gravestones and waitress trays and stuff like that. And it was a real cool match. You had Kimberly, she came out halfway through the match too, and big cat fight going on there between Liz and Kim, and Kimberly ended up grabbing Liz by the hair and dragging her backstage, and that just added more drama to the match. And so that was a really awesome moment. Again, if you haven't seen this match, a really, really, really cool match to go back and see. So yeah, you had video cameras and all sorts of stuff, everything being thrown into this match. These two went hell for leather. And I think in the end of this one, we had someone come out dressed up in a Sting suit, and everyone was like, yeah, Sting, because the Sting thing was really hot at that moment. And he came out and smashed Ddp in the ribs, who already had injured ribs by that stage. And everyone thought, oh, you know, what's going on here? Sting double-crossing everyone again. But they reported it that it was like Hogan dressed up in a Sting suit or something that hit Ddp in the ribs or whatever. And Savage got the win in this rubber match. But definitely go check out this feud, like Spring Stampede 97, Great American Bash 97, and this was a rubber match. So 3 matches there at those 3 pay-per-views. And they were damn good matches. Yeah, really awesome matches. Okay, so now the big match of the night, the main event. It was Hogan, the World Heavyweight Champion, taking on Piper. This was a non-title match. It was a steel cage match. And basically throughout the night you had all the drama of Hogan saying, hey, I'm not coming out, brother. You know, me and Bischoff have signed this deal. I'm not coming out to fight. I'm not lacing my boots and stuff like that. And that drama built steadily throughout the night. So that was really cool how they did that. And as a fan watching it, you know, back in the day and stuff, and you were like watching the pay-per-view, you're like, I know Hogan may not come out, and you know he says he's not coming out and stuff and whatever. So you really had all that drama there, and the commentators are like really building it up well, and it was really awesome commentary throughout the night as well from Dusty, Tony, and Bobby, of course, and with Mike Tenay popping in there as well. So yeah, you know, it was the big match of the night. It was the main event of the night. I know this match gets like crap a lot online, like a lot of WCW stuff does, a lot of wrestling stuff does, and a lot of big matches do. But I don't think it was that bad. I really enjoyed it, and me and my mates, you know, gathered around the TV watching this one back in the day. You know, we really enjoyed it. It was pretty cool. The cage was pretty weird. It was like this, you know, grid style cage. You got to sort of see it to know what I'm talking about, but it didn't have the roof on it or anything. It was pretty sort of flimsily built. They were climbing all over it, and you could swear one of them was going to fall off, especially when they're sitting on top, you know. But you know, so the cage was a different sort of style cage, and it actually led to something pretty awesome at the actual end of this match, where Randy Savage ran in to help Hogan, and he like got on the top of this cage. You know, it was a real high cage. You know, I don't know how high it was, 20 feet or whatever in the air. And anyway, it was way up there, Savage had a massive jump into the ring, and he like double axe handled. I think Hogan was holding Piper, and Piper moved out of the way, and Savage like axe handled Hogan by mistake. But you definitely got to see that to believe it. It was just how crazy Savage was. I mean, what an awesome athlete he was, even at that stage of his career, to attempt something like that. It was like real high cage, as I say, 20 plus feet in the air or whatever it was. But yeah, so that was a really awesome moment. You had Stings also surrounding the ring the whole time, just building up for the whole Sting Hogan thing, and there were fake Stings coming down. There were like 20 of them must have came in overall. Like they come down the aisles, and because when Hogan was like trying to climb over the cage, they were like standing there with the bat, not letting them hit the floor and stuff to win the match. So there was a lot of drama, a lot of stuff in the match, and it was a pretty good match. It was two classic legends going at it, and it wasn't like the big WWF main events at the time. They had sort of younger guys like Stone Cold and Taker and stuff like that, and The Rock and Triple H, and obviously they were younger, doing more sort of daring things. And Hogan and Piper were sort of two legends, obviously on in their career, quite far into their career and stuff. And they just sort of did what they did, and I liked it, and I know plenty don't, but me and my mates loved watching that stuff back in the day. And it was a pretty cool match. It was a pretty good match. As I say, there was a lot of drama in the matchup. We even had a fan jumping in at the end, and it had us. We were all sitting there questioning, is this real or whatever? And I think it's sort of come to pass that it was a work or whatever. It was all set up and stuff. But when you're watching it for the first time, back in the day, it's like you're sort of questioning, is this real or not? And I know a lot of people even still question to this day, but it was that was another bit of drama with a fan jumping over the cage there, and so this was another good match of the night, and pretty cool main event, and it was Piper putting Hogan to sleep for the third time, I believe. I didn't get the belt, as I say, it was non-title, but cool match. Yeah, so there's some moments from WCW Halloween Havoc 19 and 97, as Tony Schiavone would say. Some of the top matches that I thought stood out for the night. I thought it was, a pretty awesome pay-per-view. I'd actually rank it in my top 3 pay-per-views of 97, I think, for WCW. It was definitely up there. It was a hot pay-per-view leading into Starrcade, and I really enjoyed it, and it's still a good one to go back and watch today. And so there's my review, and I definitely recommend jumping on that WWE Network and watching it. So thanks heaps for checking out this video, and be sure to leave a like if you like this video, and check out some of my other WCW looking back at vids as well. Cheers guys, take it easy, catch you next time.